Hey, you! Are you a curious person and a music lover just like me? Well, if the answer is yes, this is your podcast. Hi, I'm Ramon Mañas, I'm the travel sax creator, and welcome to Blowing in the Wind, the place to get inspired throughout music and innovation. Let's talk. Hi everyone, and welcome to the episode number 5 of Blowing in the Wind. Today I have the honor of having Simone Capitani with me here. He's part of the team of audio modeling, a very cool music tech startup. They are based in Italy, and he's gonna explain how the technology that they have developed work. It's basically, he's gonna talk about physical modeling and all these interesting texts about the virtual sounds that or instruments that they are creating. He's also going to talk about Camelot, which is a platform that they have developed for live performance. And basically, he's going to walk us about through the history of audio modeling, and we're going to also discuss the future of technology with AI. So without further ado, let's start. Great, Simone. It's very, very nice to have you here at Blowing the Wind podcast. It's been a while since we haven't done a podcast because we have been extremely busy with the assembling and shipping of the almost 1,000 travel sacks that we have already shipped. So now that we are a bit more calm, we are able to start the podcast again, and it's very for me it's an honor to have you here. I'm just gonna introduce you. You are part of the team of audio modeling, right?
Yep.
And audio modeling is a global leader in multi-vector expressive acoustic instrument emulation. What's this, please? Can you explain that?
Hi Ramon, hi everybody. Thank you for the chance to speak about a little bit of the company. So audio modeling definition and instrument definition is a bit maybe obscure, but the result is pretty simple. So basically, more than 10 years ago, my business partner Stefano, Lucato, and Emanuele Parravicini started to develop a technology to emulate the acoustic instrument sounds without the use or with the different use of samples. So basically, Stefano was frustrated by the samples and the sample players that had a lot of limitation, especially in the emulation of the behavior, because in the moment you trigger a sound on a sampler, you trigger a recording that has been done by another musician. So if you want to play that note with a different expressivity, so basically if you want to have a different attack, a different transition, a different crescendo, diminuendo, you need to find and spend hours on libraries and find the right articulation. And then for the next phrase, another search, another articulation. So that way of working, even if it has been established as the most common in the last years, is not the most musical way to interact with an instrument. So Stefano had an idea of how to develop a technology and decided to build another engine. At the beginning, he thought about how to manipulate a sample in a certain way, and then gradually, year by year, he developed with Lele and the audio modeling team up to 3 different technology that are going to a full physical modeling technology without the use of any samples. So coming back to your question, audio modeling is a company that makes virtual instruments made with the SWAM SWMA acronym technology that wants to overcome the sampler's limitation and wants to provide more control and expressivity to their instruments. On the side of this sound design project, we also developed Camelot, that is a live performance host that was born from the idea to simplify the live performance for any musician.
Okay. So Camelot is DAW, right? Like Logic or Ableton Live?
Not exactly. So basically, Camelot is not a production DAW. Is a live performance DAW, more or less like main stage, but with a different perspective. So we invested effort on designing a different user experience that does not use the traditional mixer approach, and also has a very deep connection with the hardware instruments world. So we have an innovative approach using the smart maps that are able to provide a plug-and-play experience with the hardware synths and devices. So without knowing the MIDI commands to switch a sound on a synth or on a keyboard, you just have to go through a map and select the right preset on a map.
Okay, interesting. For me, when I started hearing about the physical modeling, it was very, very new for me. And when I saw the sound, right, or the expressiveness that you can get out of these sounds, because what you were explaining, if I understood correctly, is that you are not using samples, right, as a recorded piece of note that you normally loop, right? That's what we use in our treble sax sound. You guys are working with the creation, right, of the waves, right?
Yeah.
That recreate the sound, right?
Yeah, basically we study the law of physics of each instrument. So and trying to emulate with math, with algorithms, the sound of the real instruments. That means that we don't use samples with the latest technology. In the very first editions, there are samples, but there are very few samples. So we don't have the need to sample an entire range of instruments or the entire velocity ranges, but just a few samples in the old technology. In the newest one, only math, physics, and this is easy to get, because if you download a SWAM instrument, you will get it from 15 megabytes to 200 megabytes. So it's nothing compared to the sample libraries.
Exactly. It's very, very light. That's super interesting. Well, for our listeners, we are partners with them. We have been offering for the people that are buying the treble sax 2 40 days free trial of the SWAM of the SWAM saxophone bundle. So you are able to try using your treble sax 2 during 40 days the different sounds that you can get out of the sound. I'm gonna do I have a treble sax here with me, connected to the computer, right? And I'm gonna play some notes, so you guys can hear the expressivity that you can get out of the swamp sound. Just gonna take out the filter here. So, okay. It's amazing. I mean, you have so much expressivity, and this is a very simple uh, MIDI MIDI instrument. I mean, I don't have like a pitch bend sensor or anything. Just pressure sensor, right? And the note. It's super super cool.
Yeah, the main thing is that the how the instruments responds to dynamics is different from samples, because it's not just a matter of changing the volume of an instrument. If you go from a pianissimo to a fortissimo,
Yeah.
there are other different interaction that comes out, and the physics and recreating that kind of physics law with modeling basically makes a real difference.
It's really cool. I have also prepared, because I'm not a professional sax player, as you can see, but I have some videos here in YouTube that are explaining a bit how the swamp saxophone sounds work, and I'm gonna play it. So it's very cool. I think it's super expressive. You guys also have you just launched also the app for iPhone, right? So it's iPhone and iPad, right?
Yeah, basically the instruments are available at the beginning for desktop, macOS, Windows as a standalone, or any plugin format, audio unit, VST, AAX, and so on. And also then we released the version for iPad, and finally the version for iPhone. The cool thing that is that we have created a system that is totally consistent around the different versions. So we have more or less the same graphical user interface and across all devices, and that is extremely convenient, because if you can jump from one device to another, share the presets, so you can do you can have a very complete experience that is totally independent from the device you're using.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you here my Swam app. Yeah, that I always have with me, because I always have my treble sax with me anywhere I go. It's like a maniac, because you never know when you can practice 5 or 10 minutes waiting for the buzzer in the train, and I really use a lot the Swam saxophone sounds because they sound really nice. So they give me this plus of sound quality. So it's not just like for practicing, but also for enjoying like a very nice sound. Great.
Yeah,
So
the interesting thing that you brought up with the iPhone and iOS version, basically, Ramon, is that compared to sample libraries,
mhm,
the Swam instruments are playable live.
mhm,
So it's very hard to play with sample libraries. It's
yeah,
only you can get good results in a production environment, but with Swam you can use them live.
yeah,
We have a power combo with Camelot
mhm,
and Swam because we have people playing with different kind of controllers, like
mhm,
from keyboards to wind controllers,
mhm,
like travel sax. So basically, you can have that on your phone, switch sounds from saxophone, clarinet, playing backing tracks. It is extremely convenient and powerful.
mhm.
And there's
Great.
no...
I think I have a question that many people will ask you guys. When the Android app?
Well, we haven't planned yet the Android version
You can
for.
say you can say never. It's okay.
I don't like to say never because we love the Android operating system,
Mhm. I also
but
do.
so far it was so difficult to invest our money and effort to build that application because we are not able to provide a consistent experience across different manufacturers that are running Androids.
Hmm.
So there are some devices that work very well with the audio application, so they have a very good latency,
Yeah.
low latency comparable to the Apple devices,
Yeah.
but there are other devices that have not the same behavior. So it will be difficult at first for us to test on every device
It's crazy.
and guarantee the best experience on any device. So it is a challenging project. We don't exclude that because we have the approach to extend our product, and we would like to make that as much as um, it's more as wider.
Whether, yeah.
Yeah, but so far we have to deal with taking decision,
Hmm.
and for now we have to stand by with Android.
I totally feel you because when we developed the Travel Sax One app,
Mm-hmm.
we went, of course, for with Android and iOS devices, and like iOS devices were just magic. All of them were working super smooth, very low latency. So iPhone was great. Android users, they were like complaining so much sometimes. They bought like this latest Samsung that was more than 1,100 euros and 1,000 euros, and the guy was so upset because it had so much latency, and sometimes even it's not even related to the quality of the mobile phone itself. It's how
Mm,
the MIDI it's processed on that device itself, and
yeah.
how it's quite challenging. So I totally feel you, and I just wanted to throw a bit of wood to the fire. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, also because you know that we love the audio development industry, but of course on when we are looking at consumer device like tablets and phones, they are designed and built not only for playing music,
Yeah.
but they have a lot of different features. So the music and musician market on a mobile device is a very small group. So it's not. I'm not sure that any company will take so much attention to that.
Yeah, totally. Everything is on the picture side. Everyone wants to have like a super nice camera right now. That's like the main goal for all
Yeah,
the mobile phone manufacturers.
yeah.
But the music, which is very, very important for many people, it's not that well thought or that studied in those brands. I also wanted to talk about you as a Simone Capitani, right? That's your
Yeah,
Simone Capitani.
yeah.
I wanted to know your background. So if you can explain a bit more about yourself.
Yes, sure. Basically, I am electronic engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and after the engineering study, I started working as a business analyst for a software company. We
Mm-hmm.
made business software to calculate bills.
Okay, interesting.
And I am an amateur keyboard player, but the main thing, let's say, with me that can describe me is the love for music and technology. So I have always been interested to merge my passion for music and technology.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was working as a business analyst, I started to study a bit more the user experience and the UX, let's say, world.
Mm-hmm.
And I landed to San Francisco for a training course at Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
Alan Cooper is one of the most important user experience designers guru.
Mm-hmm.
He has invented the goal-oriented design method that basically is an approach to design digital products in order to address at the same time the user needs, the business needs, and the technical feasibility needs.
Mm-hmm.
So I really love that approach. So I wanted to move my career following more and more the UX, the user experience area and design.
Mm-hmm.
So I applied those theory to the work I was doing for the previous company, but then I decided to change my career, and I wanted to find something in the music industry because I wanted also to merge the skills that I had developed in music, plus the engineering, plus the user experience skills. So at the beginning it was hard because it's difficult to send a CV to a music company and say, okay, here I am, let me design some stuff. It doesn't work that way.
Okay. How did you do that then?
So basically I started to work on a side project. I designed apps. I designed iPad apps that during that year the iPad was released, and it was extremely interesting, and it was an inspiration to design new music application on a wide and on a large touch devices. And one year at the trade show in Frankfurt at the Music Messe, I had the pleasure to to meet and visit many booths for many companies where I had the chance to show the design I made and the results in a real application that was developed. And at the same trade show, at the Music Messe, I met also Jordan Rudess, the Dream Theater keyboard player, that he was extremely interested in making music apps for iPad. He still has actually Wisdom Music company that delivers iOS apps. And so we started to work together. I started to help Jordan designing his new apps. And then having the chance to work with Jordan lead me to know more and more people in the music industry. And I got an offer for working at Rowley in London. Rowley is a startup, the company that made the Seaboard and the Seaboard Rise and so many stuff.
So maybe you can introduce them to us, so we can make an interview here in Blowing Blowing the Wind.
I will.
Nice. I really like these guys. I mean, they are very, very innovative with the design aspect on the music tech. It's really cool.
Yeah, it is an extremely interesting company, and at the time it was also more interesting for me because I was hired to be the UX designer of Equator, the software synth that will be is now that has been created for the Seaboard Rise. And it was an extremely interesting project because I had the chance to discover the expressivity in music, so how the different dimension of the Seaboard can be used to and applied to sound design. And so I didn't know yet, but I was just moving my one step forward to the audio modeling world, because I was in the middle of creating the best user experience for expressive controllers.
Exactly.
And then I I landed later on expressive instruments.
It's like Steve Jobs says, right? When you connect the dots backwards, it's quite easy. But when you were thinking about, it's very interesting. Very interesting. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, my work was to design the experience, and in so many in some ways you design also the graphical user interface, but not only. It's a matter of understanding how you interact with the product, and the GUI, the graphical user interface, is part of that, because we are talking about software. If we talk about hardware, the user experience is also the physical panel of the product. But not only, because you have to consider the entire journey. So when you interact with the software, there is the support, there is the, how can I say, the onboarding. So when you start to learn using that for the first time, so you have to think about and design carefully what's going on the product, on the screen and off screen. So it is really you have to think about and design the entire journey of the users, the customers.
So so after working on Rowley, right, or for Rowley, then you joined directly audio modeling, or?
Not directly. I met my business partner Stefano and Emanuele
Mm-hmm.
at again at Music Mess some years later,
Okay.
and because Zwam was one of the best, if not only, engine that had a great combination with the keyboard
Uh-huh.
control.
Mm-hmm.
So during an event, I met Stefano and Lele, and we just connect at that time, but it stopped there. After some years, I have been working not only for Rolly, but I became a freelancer. So
Okay.
I started working for different companies at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
For example, for Korg Italy,
Mm-hmm.
or I worked also for Fatar and Studio Logic,
Okay.
and other music startup in the industry.
Okay.
And during that time, I had a chance to work also with Emanuele.
Mm-hmm.
But when during those period, I also start thinking about the idea of building Camelot.
Mm-hmm.
And like Stefano, that was a bit frustrated by the sample players, I was a bit frustrated by the hardware instrument that I was playing, because everyone has a different interface, different approach.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to build a tool that could join, could connect everything together.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of Camelot, that is a round table, like the Camelot round table,
Yeah.
where every different manufacturers with different device, different instruments can connect and speak the same language.
Okay.
So the user will be able to do the same thing. So when you want to switch a sound for a Korg, you do the same thing for a Yamaha, for a Studio Logic, and so on. You're having a unified interface that allows you to manage your live rig. So I had this idea, and I just called Stefano, telling the idea, and would you be able to help me building this, not building from scratch, but just build a prototype so we can show the prototype, because we like to work in a kind of agile, iterative way. So we want to validate ideas until we move to the next step.
Mm-hmm.
So Stefano said, I'm not the right guy, but I know someone that could help you. So he suggests me to call Emanuele.
Emanuele. Okay.
Yeah. And Lele in 2 weeks built a prototype, a camera prototype for the NAMM show. So
Oh, wow.
we went to LA and started doing the trip of the different manufacturers, trying to find someone that was interested to help us building Camelot. So long story short, Fatar, that is the world leader manufacturer of keys, and the owner of Studio Logic brand, decided to join in this project. So now Camelot has been almost released from 2018, and Audio Modeling and Fatar owns this product.
Okay.
So I started working with Lele at Camelot. We worked together in different projects. So I started to help Lele and Stefano on Zwam, but audio modeling wasn't born until 2017, because at the beginning audio modeling was not a company. There was only one that was a product made by two freelancers, Stefano and Lele. After some years, Stefano and Lele decided to found a company, so they founded audio modeling. And after a couple of years, I joined them as a partner. Now the company has 10 employees, if I'm not wrong, because we are growing.
Wow.
And we have a lot of new projects for the future.
Any idea that can be shared, or it's everything super secret?
We have the approach to do not keep everything so secret. Of course, we have secrets about the technology we use, but we like to share a bit the vision, because it's a way also to test if the ideas that we have are good. So it's the first step of validation.
Of course.
So right now we are working on a very interesting projects in building the strings sections. So now our string instruments are solo strings. So we have the model of the solo violin, solo viola, solo cello, and the double bass. But if you want to make an orchestral piece of music, you need to have a section that sounds like 10, 12 violins.
Exactly.
So to have the very rich and classic sound of a string section. So now we are doing this project that is extremely challenging, because we are not we have to work with the same approach, the same vision of models and expressivity. So it is very, very interesting, very, very challenging.
Nice. Where are you guys based?
Well, we are based in Italy. And we have different locations. We are the HQ is in Milan, where the biggest part of the team is near Milan, North Milan, and we are about to land in a new building, a new bigger HQ. And there is another small team in central Italy, where I live, that we work more on the UX design plus communication and digital marketing.
And where are you based now? Because I really like your background. You have many keywords.
I am in the Central Italy office that is on the East Coast.
Nice. Great. Okay, so Simone, as you may already know, this podcast is about technology or innovation, let's say, and music technology. So I normally like to ask our guests if they want to share any music or tech related gadget that they think that that they like to share because it's innovative, or I don't know. Do you have any in mind? I don't know, like anything that you have.
Do you mean a piece of music to share, or?
Yeah, that's something also that I would like to ask. No, but more related to innovation. For example, any artist maybe that's innovating, or any piece of technology like a travel sax, for example, that you have seen lately that has impacted you, like, oh, these guys are doing something different, or I don't know. It's a question that I always want to ask, because you never know, people sometimes find new gadgets or new piece of technology out there that they want to share, and that it's mainly, sometimes it's very rich for us to learn more things out there.
Well, I'm not prepared to. I could maybe give you some links later to add in the description, maybe. But the thing that are to me in music technology that is really interesting right now to
Mm-hmm.
explore is the territory of the AI, and I think that the AI will change a lot how we will perceive the world in the next few years, because it will introduce for sure a change. The way we work will change very strongly, because some jobs will be totally different. Some jobs will be cancelled by the AI. Other will be generated by that. I'm not on the opinion that everyone will be out of business, but we need to keep in mind that it is a reality,
Yeah,
and will grow
100%.
exponentially. So the way we make music, the way we build instruments, the way we work on and we live every day will be totally different. So
I
I would
totally agree.
suggest.
I totally agree with you. I'm reading right now a book called Scary Smart from this guy who's called Mo Gaudat. He's the Google, the former CEO of Google X. This guy is amazing, and he talks about the power and the reality of the AI and machine learning, which it's gonna definitely change everything, just everything. And of course, the music will have an impact. I'm 100% aligned, and I do agree with what you're saying. What do you think? Of course, the whole industry will change. Um, what do you think it's gonna be like the biggest change on the music creation? We know that AI is already creating very interesting pieces of music, right? By their own, with amazing quality, and I mean it's crazy. Where do you think it will? Where do you
Well,
imagine we will get with AI?
I basically I think that yeah, the creation, the AI in the creation is interesting, but I would like to focus more on how the AI can help people to express themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So let me make an example with the chat GPT.
Yeah.
I was able to write a book just giving to the AI the idea I wanted to communicate, the logical steps of that of my thoughts,
Okay.
and basically it was like having like a ghost writer
Yeah.
that I was able to interact with.
Wow.
So basically, my dream was always been to being able to write a book, especially maybe in English, that is not my first language, to reach a wider audience,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wanted to hire a ghostwriter to help me doing that. And just for fun, a couple of weeks ago, I just wrote a book using Chat GPT.
Wow.
I mean that I'm sure that a professional writer would have been better than that. but the result that I got in a few hours was amazing. And I'm not scared about this kind of application because it started from me. So I had the ideas, I had something to tell. I needed just only a way to write those ideas in a logical way, with a good English that can be understood by everyone, not a good English, an English with an Italian accent. So this is an example, and in music, I think that it will be amazing if we can have this kind of facilitation in the middle that can extend your creativity. Because let's say that we made a video with, and I will share then the link. Is a public video that we made on our channel, where we imagine the composition of making music without a DAW, just using a natural language, like using a vocal assistant, and interacting with the vocal assistant, building music from scratch. So let's start with a drum bass loop. So and then put on top a chord progression of D minor 7, G7, and so on. So basically, if you have some ideas, the AI can be an amplifier of that, and can help you to maybe to explore areas that you don't know very well. So if we use that as a facilitation, as it will be extremely powerful to become better musician, better writers, or to express themselves better than now. So you can delegate some skills that you don't have. Of course, it will be better to develop all the skills, because I would like to be able to speak English better than I do, to write better than I do, to know more chord progression that I know. But maybe there's a way also in the middle to learn and to expand, to experiment. So this is the vision.
Yeah. I totally think that's definitely super interesting too, and I think that we will be seeing it in, I would say, 1 or 2 years. It's gonna be like super in our day-to-day lives. I mean, now it's starting with the chat GPT, even Alexa, and there's so much going on right now with AI, but I think next year or in 2 years it's gonna be just everywhere, definitely, and of course in the music. So yeah, it's a very nice point that you talked. I also want to ask you, and that's like a quite must question that I like to ask, and as a song that you would like to share with our community that we can maybe play, and see if the AI from Google doesn't ban it from our podcast when we upload it to the to YouTube. Also, yeah. So if you have any song that maybe inspires you, it would be really nice that we can hear it, or we can.
Yeah, well, the music will be. I'm quite sure that the algorithm
We'll ban it.
will detect it. But yeah, I could mention the music from the band Dream Theater for many reasons. As you know, Jordan Rudess is the keyboard player that introduced me in the music industry, but also we are still working together. Jordan is an audio modeling artist.
Yeah, these guys are great.
We work together also on GeoShred, so he's using our instruments in his albums. So
Wow.
basically we are very connected. So any Dream Theater album is it's good.
Okay, let's see. We are hearing swamp sounds right here.
Not in this.
No?
This is this is older.
Yeah, that's the Pull Me Under. It's
Yeah. In the last albums of the theater, you can hear the sound of the cello, for example. Clarinet.
So we'll just keep wrapping this because it is this almost 1 hour that we have been talking. I think that's more than enough.
Thank you so much.
Can you hear me? Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Super. So it's been a pleasure having you here. I wish you guys all the best. I hope we can keep working together for a long time and create and keep innovating together. I think it's very, very nice to be able to talk the same language and to see the future of music more or less the same way. So I'm really glad that we guys met some time ago, and again, thank you so much for having for spending some time here with us.
Thank you, Ramon. My pleasure.
Bye bye.
Ciao.